It is my distinct pleasure and honor to welcome back the professor, Mr. Gene Weldon, and our resident area professional, Mr. Hugh Roy III, to Pro Golf Talk Live.
Professor, it's a pleasure to sit next to you again.
I honestly, speak into the mic.
Speak into the mic. After his little escapade after you, I think I might have a little bit, but I'm okay. I'm all right.
Glad to be here with you, Hugh.
George.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, George.
Good morning.
Welcome back, gentlemen.
Thank you.
It's been tough to do this show by myself.
No,
I got into a full-fledged debate last week for an hour.
There's nobody to interrupt you.
I got so tired I lost 6 pounds going from this chair to that chair to that chair to this chair to that chair.
Yeah,
I got to go back and look at that one.
Oh yeah, it was comical, no doubt, but informative.
I'm sure.
All right, Aberdeen, Scottish Open, Castle Stewart. It is going as we speak.
Yeah.
And the ladies, we have a U.S. Open Championship going on this week at Cordoval out in California. That's a great golf course, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful
That's
link style.
Robert Trent Jr., right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cordoval.
About 10 years old, 15?
Less than 10, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's not that old. It's not that old. But whatever. Perfect place. I mean, you got to consider it's the first time the Women's U.S. Open has been out there since 1984 in California. Interesting.
That is a man with far too much time on his hands. But that is a very good fact.
What are you talking about?
I like that.
That I knew that.
He read it at 3 o'clock this morning.
3:30, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I date stamped it. Okay, so the women, let's talk about them real quick, and then we'll get to the Scottish, which is going to lead us into the Open.
I'm taking Lexi Thompson, Lydia Ko, and you can have the field.
Lexi Thompson, Lydia Ko, and we got the field.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how much?
I don't care. Ain't nobody going to beat them.
Just name it?
Nobody's going to beat them.
Bag of donuts.
No, I got the donuts covered for
Dude, you had
breakfast
to,
at the Open.
we got to wait 2 weeks
relax.
to get our donuts.
Well, I've been waiting 4 weeks for you to get back on the job. How about that? All right, move on.
All right.
How much? Lunch? Our choice?
No.
No.
Did you hear the crack in his
No.
voice? No. All right, breakfast at Waffle House?
Yeah, that can work.
Okay. Breakfast at Waffle House. Lexi, Lydia, and Gene and I have the field.
Yep.
Fantastic. Gene, put a little bit of something there. That's a winner.
I'm not liking my bet.
That's a winner.
I'm really not liking my bet on that.
Is Jeff included in breakfast at Waffle?
Sure.
Okay.
I tell you what, let's make it a 4-way bet. Hugh and I'll take the two and give give the two of you the field.
You want to jump on his, Lexi, and Lydia?
I like it. Yeah, I do.
Wow. Jeff, you up? Are you good? We press.
I'm in.
We press.
Okay. That means juice
That means juice along with
breakfast.
the waffle.
Can we upgrade it a little bit?
What do you want?
Who you want?
I can't eat at Waffle. I'm sorry. It might
There
be,
went their sponsorship
it might
of us.
be one of your sponsors, but
Oh, well. Now I don't get one of those little paper hats.
no.
Okay, so you two against us two,
For
Lexi and the
breakfast.
Co.
How about
For
eggs? How
breakfast.
about eggs up grill?
Eggs up
Hey,
grill. There you go.
that's
I like
good.
that.
That's good.
I like that. All right, so we're on. Jeff and I have got the field. Y'all have got Lexi and Lydia.
You want
Fantastic.
one more pick just to make it fair?
No. We're done. Poof. Done.
Deal's already been made.
Deal's done.
Okay. I'm fine.
He's starting to sweat.
Deal's
I'm
done.
not sweating.
I'm
We
good with it. But
I'm
I
not
wanna,
sweating.
who are
We
you
did the
thinking?
secret TGD handshake. So
I'll take 2 and go against the field. And when we annihilate them,
Well,
the
it'll be
abuse
fun.
is going to get
Yeah.
brutal. It's going to get brutal.
it will. I so look forward to it. Scottish Open.
Who cares?
Whoa. Hello. Hold on. We still got qualifiers coming from the Scottish Open
That's-
for the Open Championship.
We were talking about
That's
that.
that's why Gene was trying to calm me down about it.
Yeah, we got the top 4 players that finish in the top 12, otherwise not qualified for the Open Championship.
Besides not having their pants on properly and the belt looped in the right place and whatnot, they can qualify.
Why
I
do
got
you
it.
make
Let's
joke
go.
of this? Why
Let's
do you
go.
make that? That's very important. Are you jealous that they have a qualifier for the Open and the Olympics does not?
Do we know if a qualifier coming out of the
Technically, that's a pretty good answer, George.
Thank you.
do we know that whether they've ever had a qualifier come out of the Scottish Open and win the Open?
Don't believe there ever
In the
has
same year?
been. Never.
No.
Well, of course, in the same year.
No,
That's
no,
the only
no.
year they
I'm
qualify.
trying to. I asked the question just simply because I'm going through the file cabinet just to see if I remember.
I don't believe so.
I don't think.
No.
But that'll be a nice research question. Why don't you work on that?
Yeah, you'll get right on top.
You
of
brought
that,
it up.
won't you?
You're a climb right on top of that one, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right. Who's your picks for this week at the Scottish Open? Or do you, Mr. Royer, do you just want to skip that and go straight to the Open?
No, we can make picks this week. Y'all go right
You
ahead.
want to make? Well, we made picks for the women, so we'll consider that this week's bet. Okay. No, I'm sorry. There's no betting at Bushwood. Okay.
No.
All right. So we'll use the women this week as our wager, and then let's go ahead and talk about the Open. Okay.
Okay.
Is that fair enough? Because you don't have enough prep. You were over there scrambling. You can't even see the screen. So you got one eye that looks about this big around. I'm going to start calling you Petey.
I'm beginning to remember why I took a 4-week vacation.
You and me both.
You missed me, Professor. You missed me.
Are we getting paid? Is there something that I missed? We
Y'all get paid,
for
I
the
don't.
abuse.
Yeah, the pay is the same. It's,
Pays the same.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
same for the abuse.
I figured it must
Sadly.
have gone up with all this abuse.
Sadly. How about Jin Jung at the Scottish Aberdeen Asset Management Open?
What's the
He
cut line?
cards a plus 16 for a smooth 88.
The double frosty.
How about that?
That's not good.
JB Holmes, 80,
It's windy.
plus 8.
It's breezy.
It's windy.
It's Fendi.
It's windy.
I don't care. It ain't that windy. I think I could card 88.
All right.
All right. Open Championship, Royal Troon. Mm-hmm. I am really looking forward to this one.
Me too.
One American that can win.
One American. Hold on. I got to write this down. One American that can win. Let's hear it.
DJ.
Wow.
Not on that golf course.
I think it's perfect for him. It's nothing but long, and it's straight, and it's one of my least favorite golf courses over there because it's like you're playing the same hole over and over and over, with the exception of the little par 3. Yeah.
I love the golf course. I think it's really good. I don't think it fits his eye. That would be my only thing.
If the wind's blowing,
If the
it's
wind's
going to be
blowing,
tough for everybody. I
Well,
think
let's talk real quickly about his success just over the last several weeks. Okay?
amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Nothing short of amazing.
And the
But-
one, and I tell you, and not to interrupt you, and I
Yes,
apologize,
please
but
do.
you know the way he handled the situations, I was very impressed with him, with how he handled it. Because in the past, it wouldn't have been that way. You know
No.
what I mean? I thought he handled the press and the situations and the questions and whatnot in a very, very polite and just politically correct way.
I like what he told his brother. Just let it go.
Well,
We win by 2. We don't have to worry about it.
they won by 3. And if they hadn't won by 3, do you think he would have been as cordial and as polite and as easygoing about it?
Hell
If
no.
it had
No.
been, if
No.
it had been another
And if you
whistling
didn't
straight-
notice his fist pump on the 18th green when he made birdie,
And
that was
that's-
directed at Jeff Hall in the USGA.
you
Yes, it
doggone
was.
right it was.
I guarantee you,
You
it was.
doggone right it was.
And
Because you never seen him do one, really.
no, and I know Jeff Hall. We played against each other in college, and I'm gonna tell you right now, they ruined it, and they really and I agree with what was said. Jason Day said he says, it was at Rory. So I'd
was Rory.
I'd have never got off the bag on 12T. I'd have
It-
sat
no,
there.
It
He
was
said, "I'll-
multiple players.
I'll
Give
sit-
me a decision.
He said,
or-
give me a decision,
or
or
I'm
I'm
not
going to sit
moving."
right here.
Right.
Yep,
And that's the right call.
exactly was.
Exactly.
But here's the thing, and let me ask you this, and then we'll get into the British. And I apologize for this
No,
because
no,
we've been gone.
no.
But, you know, you look at the fact that they've got a walking rules official with every group.
That's right.
The man was called over,
That's right.
asked the questions.
That's right.
DJ said, I didn't do anything to make it move.
He said, I saw you didn't do anything. He goes, you did not ground your club.
He said,
That's
so
what
it-
the rules
yeah.
official
and
said.
he said, so everything's
And
good.
then-
And then they go back into the studio to replay it. That's like finishing the Super Bowl and then going back in and looking at it and say, well, hang on a minute. We're going to –
the other team won.
Yeah. It's the
Agreed.
dumbest – and no offense, I'm going to
Lee
get back on
Westwood-
my high horse.
Lee Westwood even commented to DJ, who was his playing
Mm-hmm.
opponent. He commented, you did not approach the ball.
No.
So
But I'm telling you, when you have a bunch of amateurs running a professional golf tournament, that's what's going to happen. It happens too many times in
what
their
was my
events.
argument, Jeff?
Well, Hugh, you've been saying this for some time, and we all got to see exactly what you were talking about in this one, and even right on down to the finishing ceremonies. The Mark Calcavelkia tweeted during the ceremonies, "Is the prez hammered?"
Yeah.
Diana Murphy.
I mean, holy mackerel!
That was sad.
It was pathetic, man.
Yeah. As unprofessional.
I mean, you got a
as
bunch of
uncoordinated.
accountants and lawyers and whatever else that can read a rule book and interpret them, but cannot implement them in the situation.
Well,
and
they-
it was pathetic. It was pathetic.
Yeah, it was.
Ruined a win that's on one of the greatest golf courses in the country by one of the most talented players in the world. It ruined the whole thing.
Fitting, though, I mean, he wins. He wins by multiple number of strokes. It would have been even bigger if he hadn't have been assessed the penalty. And he basically walked in, and they took him right into the video room. They made him look at it. Then they looked at him and said, we're assessing you a penalty shot. You need to reflect that on your scorecard. He told his playing opponent, Lee Westwood, to do the same on his cross-reference scoring. And DJ just looked at him and went, whatever, dude. You're still giving me the trophy.
Yeah. But
You
that's
know-
where I looked at him and said, show me where I made it move.
Well,
I mean, I understand.
he just let it go.
Sure he
and
did.
they needed that. They had to have his affirmation that he accepted the penalty. Okay?
I'm going to bet you there were about 30 blue cups in that clubhouse when he was playing 15, 16, 17, and 18 that were shaking in their boots.
I
You
guarantee
doggone right
And
they
Jeff
were.
Hall was the main one.
You
and
doggone
when they
right.
had him up in that booth, and you got Azinger up there drilling him. Now Paul is extremely smart when it comes to this stuff, and very sharp-tongued and very kind of sarcastic-witted. And I mean, I was laughing. I'm like, Jeff, shut up.
I thought the way Chambly took him apart was classic.
Brandon-
Oh, yeah.
Brandon
that
did
was
a-
great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No doubt about it.
Brandel handled it well too. Anyway, all right. So what are we doing here for the Open?
Well, I appreciate your comments. And, of course, Gene has listed Dustin Johnson as the only American that has a chance to win the Open Championship at Royal Troon. I think DJ has a very strong chance of winning simply because of his new ball flight and how he's cutting the driver now instead of hitting the hook. And he's just as long. He finished in second driving distance last week at Akron at Firestone at 341.1. So for him to be able to fade the ball, take the left-hand side of the golf course out of play now, and still hit it that far. And then if they continue to get the quote-unquote warmer, windier days, warmer by 50, 60, 70 degrees, what I'm saying.
Well, you're taking the technical part of it, and I don't disagree with that. I think he's finally got his head on straight.
Yeah, I do too.
And that's huge. That's 90% of the battle, as we know.
I think they've opened up a can of worms out there that they ain't gonna be able to close for a long, long time.
I agree.
Good comment.
I think you're right. And they said the big three. No, it's the big four now. If it is the big three,
It's the big three. One of them's gone.
I was gonna say one of them's gone.
Well,
Yeah.
Ricky's gone. Ricky's gone. I mean, for whatever reason, mentally, psychologically, whatever, he's just not playing well. Just is not playing well.
Dustin's ready to step up, just like he already has. I think
Well,
it's going to go on for a long, long time.
He stepped up big time in the World Golf Rankings,
Yep.
and he's now the leader in the FedEx Cup standings.
You think Coastal Carolina's going to have any trouble drafting baseball and golf?
Golf?
No.
No.
No. No.
None at all. Zip.
I
Zip.
love it. I absolutely love
And
it.
congratulations to the Chandeliers, by the way.
The who?
Chanticleers.
Chanticleers. How about chandeliers?
The Roosters. But hey,
But that coach being there
You
21
call them
years,
call them what you want to.
They're-
They beat some good ball
Yeah.
clubs.
Some badass
they're
chicks.
Division One
Did you
national
see where
champions.
TCU took out the ad in the paper? Full page ad congratulating Coastal.
That's
I-
classy.
That is
That's
classy.
classy.
They just
They
played
earned
ball.
it. They just
played
made
ball.
mid-major college sports and athletics substantial.
Sure, they did.
That's what they did.
It's
They
like
gave-
Georgia Southern winning,
Exactly.
beating Alabama in the national championship.
Yep.
It really is. So, congratulations to them. Congratulations to all that's associated with the school, the sporting, the athletic department. Huge win for them. But for DJ, let's go ahead and list at least a couple others. I mean, Gene, you're with DJ. I'm going to be with DJ also. He's going to be one of my picks for the Open. Okay.
We're not
HR, who you got?
Are we going to pick the Open 3 players right now?
Yep.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah, that's
I put you on the spot.
that's pretty good.
I put you on the spot.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. You're gonna laugh. You can laugh. That's fine.
I don't laugh.
I'm going. My first pick is gonna be Louis Oosthuizen.
Good pick.
It's a good pick.
Yep. Yep. Considering where he was last year, 14 under par, kept trying to push it, but there at the last just couldn't make a putt fall, and but he was right there for the playoff and everything. So, good pick. And I likewise have him as one of my 3.
So that's
Louis.
your next pick?
Yeah. Yep. And then my last one, I'll go ahead and pronounce number 3, Shane Lowry. I think Shane Lowry breaks out and picks up his first major. I wanted to go Sergio, but I don't see it.
He'll play well, but
Yeah, he will. He'll probably have another top 10. But I just don't see him winning. I'm sorry.
well, I know Hughes not going to take him.
Who are you going to take HR for 3?
Ernie Els.
Ernie Els. Wow, now I'm laughing.
Well, that's only 2 for you, right?
That's 2 for
yeah,
me.
that's 2. That's 2.
Ernie plays that golf course well.
And Ernie's putting well.
Yes, he is.
Okay, Gene?
So I got to get caught up here. Sergio,
You're going it. Wow. I hope you don't make me eat my words.
and you want me to take one now to finish me off?
Yeah, go ahead.
McElroy.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. You think backyard?
I think weather. Weather's always a factor, and we have one player from the U.S. that
Is he
handles bad
stable?
weather
Is he
extremely-
stable enough in his putting to be able to? Because when he won the Open and to today, there's been 4 different putting grips. Different things going on there in the short game aspect. He's still tee to green, one of the better players out there, but he's been missing the driver a little bit more repetitively. He's not hitting as many fairways. He's not hitting as many greens. He's having some issues with his irons as far as yardages.
The short game's played on the ground over there.
Yeah, it is. It is. But let's keep in mind he's primarily a PGA Tour or U.S. player.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
he
he
hadn't,
doesn't.
he hadn't forgotten
You
where
don't
he came
think he's
from.
forgotten?
No.
Okay. All right, so you got DJ, Sergio, and Rory. HR, I need to get your third. You got Louis, Ernie, and your third.
Spieth.
Jordan Spieth.
You're not going to ask him about his putting?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Give me a hard time. I just figured you.
I don't give you a hard time. I'm just bringing up points. I
Lowry, huh?
Shane Lowry. Yep.
He'll play well.
I just think things are the Open Championship guys is to me, this is just to me now, and you know how far out left field I am. But to me, the Open Championship is that major that with the crowd and the support and just everybody right there, it can propel someone. You know, if they're 2 or 3 shots behind in the final round, then a Shane Lowry could go out, shoot a smooth little 68, and take this thing. And I think it's his time. I just do.
Well, I'll tell you this, that golf course right there, and if the wind blows and whatever else, you better drive your golf ball or you will not finish.
Mm-hmm.
Because gorse will put a hurting on you.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And there's
They got
a
plenty of it.
lot of it
Sure.
around there.
Sure.
That golf course is long and it's tight, and you've got to drive your ball well.
What's the highest number we're going to see on the postage stamp?
Depends on the wind.
Yeah. I think, why don't we just throw a number out there as far as what we think will be the winning score? 4-day cumulative.
Ooh, that's a tough one to call.
Yeah.
I like mine. Let's
It's
see
so-
who can get
that-
closest
yeah.
on the postage
It's so
stamp
weather
for
dependent.
the high hole.
I mean, if it, you know, like last week it was 50 degrees and raining every day. It has been that way for practice rounds for the Scottish, Aberdeen. Literally the other day it was a high of 46. A high of 46.
That's a
And
good
the wind
balmy
was,
day.
The wind was gusting to 40. So
Perfect weather.
Yeah. So, and then the next day it was 80.
Yeah.
So they were shucking clothes like crazy. Patrick Reed showed up over there after his extended flight, and he had on like 5 different layers, and it was 82 degrees outside and sunny. So, you know, he was literally between interviews shucking clothes, just trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
So
No, I think 8.
8 under?
No, I think
Oh,
Yeah.
on the
8.
postage stamp?
I think 8.
I think-
8's the number.
I would agree.
I'm going with 7.
Okay.
You two
All
got 8.
All right, I got 8. HR's got 8, and Gene got 7. Let's take a stab at the winning score.
9.
Under? Okay. I think that's a good number.
I'm going to go with 12.
Okay. Well,
12.
I would-
9 for Hugh.
yeah. I was right at 10 to 12, so I'll go ahead and stick with 10. Okay, so we got HR at 9, we got me at 10, and Gene at 12.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then we've got of course, the Women's Open that we'll follow up on with Golf Wrap. And you've got a special guest coming in at Golf Wrap next time.
Yep.
So,
We'll have my good friend Kim Patterson from out in Midland, Texas, originally from McGregor, Waco area, pitched in the major leagues for a long time. We've been friends since I was on tour, and that's kind of how we met. And coming in, going to play a little golf and try to sort out his big 6'4" left-handed golf swing, which could be
Oof.
something, but
okay.
we'll have a good time.
Well, good deal. Gene, thanks so much again for taking the time to join us today. I look forward to hopefully seeing you for breakfast at the Open. And,
Looking forward to it.
We'll be finalizing that final round and to be deciding for us to provide commentary for it. If we can get your butt out of bed, then you
Are we
come by
doing
too.
Thursday too?
No. Yeah, we'll do Thursday also. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But breakfast at the Open will be 8 a.m. or Eastern Standard Central. Why the hell would I say
We ain't in Phoenix City, bro.
No, we're not, baby.
Okay.
I keep thinking we are. TGD Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Digital Network for thegolfdirector.com. Be sure to check out our featured course pages where you'll find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, much more. Need help with your next golfing vacation? You can just call Dave right here at the Golf Director at 844-GO-GOLF-1, 844-464-6531. All of our programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. You can just click the TGD Radio or the TGD TV tabs in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. You can find us now on over 1 billion devices at iTunes, Audio Realm, TuneIn, YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Periscope, and, of course, Blueberry. I'm George Honeycutt for Hugh Roy III and Professor Gene Weldon. Want to thank Jeff behind the glass, but more importantly, want to thank you for joining us today on Pro Golf Talk right here on TGD Today. Don't go anywhere. There's a lot more golf news and information coming up next.